Hello everyone. This time we finally have an anime called Culinary Wanderings in the parallel world of our protagonist Tsuyoshi Makoda. Several more people are calling on the fantasy world. There is an old man to find out the skills called for heroes, and our Tsuyoshi turns out to have an incredibly strange ability to grocery online store. After meeting with the king, the hero realizes that he will not be able to become a hero and does not want to help the king with the demon lord, even if this lord knows how to get back to his world. So just for not disclosing that he is from another world, Tsuyoshi received 20 gold, bought new clothes, information, and food at the hotel. He looked at his statistics and used his skill at grocery store that turned out to be quite an excellent talent. Tsuyoshi managed to get to the last place in the carriage to the nearest city, where grandfather tells that skills and inventory are very rare for people abilities in the city. Tsuyoshi hired a group of adventurers for 8 gold and promised food at his own expense. The group consisted of 5 people: Vincent, swordsman; Rita, scout; Raymond, magician; Frank, healer; and the leader, Werner, hero's rank. We stopped for a rest, and the hero started cooking instead of a magic stove for 50 gold. The hero decided to buy a tile in his shop. He cooked delicious sandwiches for everyone. Then the group met the first monsters, and in the distance, there was a wild boar that the team destroyed, and the hero stuffed the meat into his inventory for the hero's dinner. There were other plans. First, he fried bacon, added cabbage, carrots, potatoes, and sausages, and left until ready. Everyone tries the dishes and asks for additives. It turned out that the food increases the parameters, so the hero decided to hide it because of this you can get into trouble. The next night, to try to cook wild boar meat, first he thinly sliced the meat, poured ginger sauce over it, and while it was marinating, followed by slicing something that looks like cabbage in a heated frying pan, he began to fry the slices and fried them. Together, the group ate a beautiful meat. Suddenly, the team was afraid of something behind Tsuyoshi's back. There was a majestic wolf Fenrir who ordered to feed him. The heroes were exhausted while preparing the supplement, but after Fenrir signed a contract with him in order to become the heroes. Familiar after the conclusion, he said that he would have to be fed 3 times a day. Since now the hero has a contract with this wolf, he asks to give him a name. Tsuyoshi tries the name of Pachi, but the beast showed that such a name belittles him. The hero offered a few more dog nicknames. The wolf drew attention to the fact that he is not a dog due to the fact that this familiar is a Fenrir. The hero decided to call him simply Fair. Our heroes went further because of the ferret. People began to shun the hero's group. Team members told that they had not yet figured out what they would do at the entrance to the city, because once one of the representatives of the Fenrir destroyed the whole city, all the important bigwigs would immediately pay attention to the hustle and bustle. Only here he was, just the same. I wanted to avoid unnecessary attention. The queen said that she would crush any obstacle in the way of the hero and asked about when she would be the time of the meal. The team made a halt, and Tsuyoshi realized that the meat was running out, so he ordered him to get the meat first and then eat until he fell. The queen agreed and said to wait. The group admired the hero's courage to such a strong beast, but the king replied that there was nothing wrong with that. Brought a monster of rank B, and the main one doubts whether their group would be able to fill up such a hero. The bird was skinned, and Tsuyoshi began to cook. He fried the meat on both sides, soaked with the remnants of oil due to caramelized in teriyaki sauce. He distributed all the meat with onion soup, and he finished the rest of the bird and completely gave it to the pet. Soon they reached the city of Wayne, and they saw the soldiers who were frightened because of Fenrir. Werner goes to explain the situation to them. They approached the walls, and Tsuyoshi explained that Fair would not harm anyone and took the word from the wolf. As a result, the soldier let them inside. The group demonstrates the guild cards, because of which everyone except the hero passed for free. Tsuyoshi had to say goodbye to 7 silver coins. Werner again says that because of the local count, the king will soon find out about the hero's pet in response. Tsuyoshi says that he will not stay in the city and will travel around the world with Fenrir. Werner said that for this he will need to join the Chamber of Commerce or the Adventurers Guild, because they do not have to pay tax when crossing borders because of doubts where to join. Tsuyoshi was offered to join both organizations, but they decided to postpone the case and enter the city. A henchman of the count immediately got to the hero, whom drove away with threats. The count is unlikely to dare to take revenge on them, The whole generated on a par can fight unless the dragon fought with similar fear 400 years ago. Tsuyoshi signs a document on the fulfillment of the mission group. The adventurers said goodbye to the hero and thanked him for the food left on business. Tsuyoshi decided to go to the Chamber of Commerce. But he will also sign up for the adventurers. The company goes inside the chamber, and the receptionist explained the details about the structure of the organization to me. There are several levels, and depending on him, a member of the chamber is allowed different types of activities. Some taxes are cut. Tsuyoshi wants to be a traveling merchant, so he is offered the very first iron level. The merchant's card is successfully received. Tomorrow Tsuyoshi promises to come with samples for sale because of the missed lunch. The heroes decided to start dinner early. Tsuyoshi bought a tile to cook Feru rice. He cooked the meat and gave it to try under different sauces. Most of all, the pet liked the garlic taste. The hero's food was ready, but because of the delicious look, he had to prepare additives for the Feru. Tsuyoshi spent the night at the hotel and came to the ward to sell the promised goods. The receptionist was blown away with them and escorted Tsuyoshi to the main one. He offered 14 gold for incredibly high-quality spices from such a turn. The hero was blown away and fell silent because of which he turned his 14 gold into 17. After joining the Adventurers Guild, he was met coldly there and explained that adventurers of his rank are required to perform one task per month. Tsuyoshi took the task of collecting medicinal herbs and cooking Farah dinner, said that he did not like eating steaks alone. He wanted something tastier, and this intrigued Fenrir greatly and told him that he would cook something else next time. The hero was worried that garlic was bad for the familiar, but when he saw the super powerful statistics of the wolf, he realized that everything was fine. In the morning, Fear's stomach was empty again, and when he came to the clearing to collect medicinal plants, he complained that there was not enough food. Tsuyo said that he would collect herbs, and Fur ordered to hunt, so that nothing would happen to the hero in the absence of security. Fur put an incomprehensible shield on him with the help of the analysis skill. The hero quickly collected the necessary herbs and began to cook dinner by ordering beef, pork, minced meat, sauce, and spaghetti. He sliced onions, fried them until soft, added minced meat after the meat sauce, and a little broth. Fur came and brought the bird to the stone because he liked the teriyaki too much. The hero decided to go later for the rest of the wolf's prey. Tsuyoshi added spaghetti to the salted water, and in a few minutes the food was ready. Together with the parmesan, Fair and Tsuyoshi enjoyed the delicious. Sorry guys, I'm hungry too, but first I need to even say enemy. They came for the rest of Fear's loot, and the hero asked if the orcs were edible at all. Fur replied that he has been eating them for a long time, because they are essentially just upright pigs. In order to deliver the grass early, Fur offered to ride him, but he accelerated too fast and at the end of the trip said that if the hero had fallen, it would have been his own fault. Tsuyoshi put the wolf in place, saying that if he died, no one would cook him overseas food, delivered the plant, and excused himself that he was just lucky to collect so much. The registrar became with him softly and paid for the completed mission. Tsuyoshi wanted to sell the orcs and said that they had been obtained by a wolfman, looking at which the registrar gave slack, but having risen up, pointed to the butcher shop on the right. The hero got the orcs, but the butcher realized that this was too much and took him to the warehouse. There, the hero took everything out of his inventory and said that he wanted to sell everything except meat because of the glutton Fira. The butcher said that he would finish at least tomorrow, but Tsuyoshi asked for meat now. The butcher offered orc meat, and Tsuyoshi wanted to object, but you can't trample on the wolf's desire to eat the orc. After a little thought, the hero understood how to cook meat and began cooking. He thinly sliced slices of meat, salted and peppered them, rolled them in flour and dipped them in egg yolk, fried them, added parsley and poured meat sauce. After thinking, the hero tried the dish and the meat turned out to be tender and delicious. In the morning, Tsuyoshi came to the butcher and received meat and 200 gold for selling hides and other things. He was blown away by the money he received, and the butcher replied that it would be necessary to understand this. He showed important ingredients from each monster and also told that strong representatives can get magic stones at the end of the conversation. He told a rumor that the hero's pet is not Fenrir, but just a great wolf hero. Wanted to use this rumor so that people were less afraid of the wolf. They quickly left the city and reached the ruins where they stopped to eat, and Tsuyoshi said that thanks to the money he earned, there would be a feast today, for was very happy. Tsuyoshi ordered ready-made food for a snack, which immediately came hot and decided to make a steak fondue for the main course. For really liked the meat from the wolf also found out that cattle are not raised in this world. Ordinary hunting is enough for people to feed in the evening. With the help of the analysis skill, the hero learned that his food raised the statistics by as much as 50%. The wolf went to hunting after putting up a barrier. Tsuyoshi thought that fear would not be back soon, spread out a Japanese futon for himself and lay down on his side. At this time, Fur destroyed the elk, orc, birds, and chimera in one attack. And in the morning, he brought a huge amount of loot. Tsuyoshi decided not to cook fondue anymore. In the morning, they eat again, and the wolf shows the hero the magic of the air, which the goddess blessed him with. It turns out from him that if there is an ability to magic, then Tsuyoshi will also be able to use it. The hero turns out to have predispositions, and he tries to create a fireball, but it doesn't work out. So Fur adds that first you need to make the energy circulate through the body and show your circulation. In the end, it turns out at least something but very weak. So Fur advised fighting monsters for pumping. Tsuyoshi is too cowardly to get injured, so Fenrir drags him forcibly there. They see a goblin village. The hero again does not want to start a fight, so Fur himself attracts hordes of goblins and leaves to Sweetie alone. The latter began to fight back really well. As a result, almost falling under the blow, he was protected by a shield. The hero launched the final powerful fireball, passed out without strength, and was saved by Fear when he woke up. He complained that now he would have nightmares of the wolfman brought a gift from the leader of the goblins, in what body you can find magic stones. The hero was very tired because of which, for a surge of strength, he decided to eat sweet pastries, and Fur liked it, so he asked for more. Said that so for diabetes will work, but he replied that because of the blessing of Ninrayr, he is not afraid of diseases from birth. He was gifted with air magic. But with the blessing, he became even more powerful. The hero thought that he would need a blessing more than Feru. At the entrance to the next city, they are stopped again because of Fenrir. But the hero says that Fear is just a great wolf, and everyone becomes calmer in response to this. The wolf of telepathy tells the hero that he is not a great wolf. It turned out that because of their contract, they can't communicate with each other mentally. They still miss the city, and Tsuyoshi leaves for one to buy a map of the world in a bookstore. He finds a book on the basics of magic for dummies, which turned out to be rare due to the fact that it is made of paper, and the map of the world turned out to be a state secret. In the evening, the hero cooked himself a cutlet and sauce, and Fur again wanted viands. The next day, at the bar, Tsuyoshi treated the travelers and asked about the map and the order in the world. They told about the kingdoms next to which there are a bunch of dungeons, and then showed them a map of the world that one adventurer gave them, and decided to sell it for 1 gold, as they already remembered the deal is successful, and the team leaves, but after it turns out that such a card could simply be bought by the guild for 1 silver coin. Our couple decided to go east to the sea coasts to taste dishes from kraken and sea snakes. We are shown a goddess who is surprised that Fenrir has become a servant of an ordinary person. Fur and Tsuyoshi made their way through the forest to the lake because the wolf wanted to eat fish. He's stunned. In the lake, and the hero collected the fish in a basket from the pleasantly tingling tongue of the fish. Tsuyoshi refused, and he said that he would cook something from non-poisonous fish. They make a fire. The hero makes the ingredients and starts cooking. First, he took out the insides and washed the cut with water, put the fish on a stick, salted it, and began to slowly fry the king trout. He cleaned the scales, cut off the head, took out the insides, and carefully separated the fillets with a knife, and he decided to bake in foil. He added onions to the oil, and after peppering the fish and salting it on top, he added mushrooms, poured sake, and put butter on it. He also put a second portion by the fire. He first peppered and salted in order to absorb the seasonings, then took the excess liquid covered with a thin layer of flour and fried in a frying pan. Finally, all the dishes were ready, and naturally they liked it very much. To finish the fish, the hero decided to roll up a jar of Baltic while going to prepare an additive. He stumbled upon a slug that turned out to be very weak but capable of dissolving even a stone to eat. Randomly, the hero made the slug his familiar and named Sui. In the afternoon, Tsuyoshi tried to use the magic of the stone, but everything was unsuccessful. He refused to train after he discovered that the slug swayed due to the fact that he ate garbage from another world. With his pet and himself, he cooked orc meat marinated in miso. Even the slug liked the hero's food, and by the evening, he even learned how to clean dishes from leftovers. At the end of the day, They ate dessert in the form of gifts, which the pets also came in. In the morning, Fur announced the important news that the goddess Nenrir is ready to bless the hero if he gives her an offering in the form of sweets every week. Only he will receive only a small blessing, which will still increase the ability to magic and increase resistance. Tsuyoshi agrees to sweets and receives a small blessing. Tsuyoshi's magic has really become stronger, and after a long workout, he decided to restore energy with chocolate, which he had to share with the slug and the fear, and the goddess who had to contact directly to get them. Then the wolfman sat the hero on his back and began to hurry suspiciously somewhere. Fur brought the hero to the cave so that he could train, since his personal training did not have the proper effect. The hero broke down slightly, but still agreed before the battle. He admitted that food temporarily increases the characteristics and orders a bunch of different food to increase. Everything a little. After, Tsuyoshi picked up a sword and headed to the cave where Suichi demonstrated an attack with concentrated acid, and the heroes were able to kill several slugs with his pebbles. Then he used the wrong skills on rabbits and goblins, after which he still tied the stones against the kobolds. On the next floor, Tsuyoshi's heroes had to fight with a dozen of their representatives after a fight with the Cobalt King. Tsuyoshi managed to inflict a strong attack on him, but the mana ran out, and the king had to finish off the slug. The hero lost consciousness when he woke up. He saw how Sui was worried about him and learned to talk after he defeated the Cobalt King. Tsuyoshi asked the slug if he was ordinary because he had even better characteristics than the hero. But the slug replied that he didn't know anything. Fur returned, who had to eat raw meat from hunger. For the whole team, Tsuyoshi began to prepare a new dish. First, we cut the onion into thin slices, cut the poultry meat, break the eggs, and knead the yolk in a frying pan. Mix soy sauce, rice wine, and sugar by putting on medium heat. When the meat absorbs half of the sauce, pour out half of the sauce, pour out half of the yolk. After setting the eggs, pour the leftovers from above and turn off the fire. The dish will reach the resulting the omelet should be served with rice. After the hero's promotion, he asked if Fur had communicated with Sui. It turned out that yes, and the slug calls the wolf grandfather Fear, which Fenrir really doesn't like. But in the end, he gives in and agrees that Sue calls him that. Half of the enemy ends. If you want to see the sequel when all the episodes are released, then show it with views and comments under this video. I really like the anime. It's unpretentious and at the same time does not pretend to be something great. That only goes to the plus of this comedy, so my rating is 8 out of 10. Check out my other retellings that have appeared on your screen right now for everyone so far.